Hi guys, my name is Aisling. I'm currently studying for a Master's in Creative Writing at the University of Oxford, and since college admission season is coming up, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the personal statement that got me onto my course. I'm also releasing a purchasable written guide full of tips and tricks, and offering one-on-one sessions if you feel like that's not enough and you need someone to talk your essay over and maybe help you really knock it out of the park. Some disclaimers: I've only ever studied in the UK, and so my expertise is kind of there. The college admissions process in the US is kind of different. To avoid problems, I'm gonna keep these tips and tricks very general so that they apply to both systems. Background information about myself: I'm a writer and a filmmaker. My bachelor's was in film and television, and I got that in London at UAL. And I really wanted to pursue a master's in creative writing because I wanted to develop myself as a screenwriter, but I wanted a master's that offered different disciplines and different genres. I started preparing my essay to apply to that master's about 3 months before the deadline. I really wanted to make sure that it was perfect, and I succeeded in the end because I got onto the course. What is the purpose of a personal statement? On the obvious side, a personal statement is your opportunity to show off your personality, your skills, your experiences, and why you would make the perfect student for this institution. On the admission side, it's their opportunity to assess if you're going to be suitable for this course, but it is also an opportunity for the admissions team to get a vibe of you. Obviously, every university has a certain energy, a certain vibe, and they want to make sure that their prospective students fit into that vibe. If any writing project is an iceberg, the visible top 10% is writing, and then the invisible 90% is research. You should do all of your research before you start writing your essay. This is a great opportunity to not only find out what exactly they're looking for, but also to give you inspiration, to give you time to brainstorm. The things that you need to know before you start writing are: what is your university like? What is your course like? What are you yourself like? What are the technical requirements? These are the kind of 4 main basic topics. Some of these questions will be very relevant to your essay and some of them won't be, but it's a good idea to look at all of them just so you know they're there, they're floating. Now that we got the start out of the way, let's actually get into the essay. The entire time that I was writing this essay, I made sure to really keep in mind what they were looking for. I got really lucky because on the course description for this specific master's, there's actually a paragraph just describing exactly what they want from you in an essay. And so I just took notes on that and I was like, okay, great. That's how I'm going to structure my essay. I'm going to talk about this essay in the order in which I wrote it. Let's start with the section of my experience. In the first sentence, I make sure to address the reading and writing. I list exactly the kind of stories that I wrote to show that I've written in a variety of different genres, which is something that the course both encourages you to do and wants to see in you as an applicant. And then I move into talking about Carpathia, which is a long form project that did really well to show off that 1, I can complete long form projects, 2, I'm a good writer because I won awards for it, and 3, I know what to do with my writing. Like, I'm not just gonna write it and dump it, I'm gonna develop it professionally. I wanna note here that master's admissions essays tend to be a bit longer than undergraduate admissions essays. The third paragraph in my experience section I added because I had that extra space, but there I'm talking about my consistent reading. So I mentioned that I have a TikTok platform with 300,000 people watching it, and specifically that I talk about literature and film. This is showing that I read widely enough that people have recognized me for it, and once again, I am industry oriented. This is because Oxford, from my research, they very much want you to work in the industry. I am showing here that not only, is this my passion to read, it's also my profession. I was actually really hesitant about including my social media stuff in this. Like a lot of people that are a bit older and on TikTok, I say older as if I'm geriatric, I'm turning 25. It's a little cringe. And I'm like, no, don't think I'm just like a TikTok person. But at the same time, it was a really great way to show that I read a lot. So I want to tell you, like, use everything that you have. Even if you think it's cringe, even if you don't think it's not enough and that all of the other people on the course are going to be so much more impressive than you, just put it in. The imposter syndrome cannot be getting you at this stage. Wait until you're actually on the course and you're sitting in your first lecture and panicking, thinking, today I'm going to go to my course tutor and actually tell her that she made a mistake and quit, as I was doing. Wait until that moment. Do not let imposter syndrome get you now. Finally, I'm finishing off that experience section by talking about a failed project. I'm mentioning that I have written a first draft of a novel in a very short amount of time. So I'm dedicated and I know how to complete big projects, but the writing was not good. That leads immediately into me talking about outside guidance. I need to be on this course because I have reached the precise moment in my creative writing development where I can't do it alone. I need you, boo. So this entire paragraph is just me hitting the same points over and over again. I read, I write. And not only that, I am thinking about my reading and writing. I am doing something with it. I am serious about what I'm doing. You should let me onto this course. Next, I wrote my little motivation section. This is all about why I want to be on this course, why this specific course, and maybe why you should let me in. I knew that this course was very heavy on mixing genres, on being interdisciplinary, so that's the first thing that I'm mentioning. This is something that set it apart from other masters. This is me showing them that I've researched this shit, and then I'm talking not only about my past, but about my future. What do I want to do with this course in the future? I'm talking about making a mini series. This is kind of what they want to see. Like, they want students who are thinking big. And so I'm talking about a very incredibly popular franchise that have never been adapted to screen. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make the mini series. But I'm not just saying that to say it. I'm actually telling them exactly what I'm thinking. I hope to use Oxford's extensive academic resources. This is me showing them I have researched the university. I'm gonna be a motivated, self-driving student. You're not gonna have to worry about me. I'm gonna keep up. I'm also bringing in the fact that I'm gonna do poetry. So not only am I gonna multidiscipline, Tokyo drift between screenwriting and prose, poetry. I'm an artiste. And then bringing in Pushkin to be really, oh, you read poetry? I read Russian poetry, motherfucker, in the original language. And then I'm talking about some academic shit. I'm interested in themes, structure, syntax. This is because I got my hands on a book that they were supposed to read. It was actually this, Where Is My Baby? It's the Poet's Manual and Rhyming Dictionary. And what I took from this book is that they're really into like the technicalities of writing poetry. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna mention that to show them that I know what I'm about and I'm gonna keep up. I did not keep up. I was struggling. Poetry is so hard. I'm finishing that off, once again, bringing it back to the course and mentioning that there is a tutor that I'm interested in. Again, I'm bringing up something that I could potentially do in the future, a research idea that I could pursue, or a project that you could pursue. Thinking about what you're actually gonna do the course beyond like, I'm gonna come to class and learn what you have to teach me. We're gonna leave introductions to last. We're gonna talk about conclusions first. I'm using a quote. If you wanna use a quote in your essay, it is best to do it in the conclusion, not in the introductions. A good story can save poor animation, whereas good animation cannot save a poor story. This is me once again linking to something that I was talking about in my introduction, which is what makes writers write badly. It's helping me set up the punchline and to show that, you know, I know about the craft, I know about the skill, I know about the vibes. I'm bringing in my future and I'm bringing in how the master's program is gonna help me with that future. I'm being ambitious, I'm being forward thinking, and I'm aware of what this program is supposed to help me do. To finish all of that off, I'm using a little joke. Haha, bombing at the box office. Nuclear bomb. The Conqueror. If you don't know the story of the Conqueror, holy fucking shit, brace yourself. I'm gonna keep this really short. Basically, they were making a Genghis Khan movie full of white people. And John Wayne played Genghis Khan. They filmed in the Utah desert, which the government was very briefly before using to test atomic weapons. It was really bad. And John Wayne blamed that movie for giving him cancer. Howard Hughes blamed himself for giving John Wayne cancer. It was a whole mess. It was a terrible movie, but yeah. The movie that gave John Wayne cancer. So yes, finishing that off, bringing together what I said in my introduction, what I've been saying this whole essay, just to kind of leave a good taste in the mouth of the readers. Now let's talk about the baby. Let's talk about the introduction. I think it took me all of 3 months to write this introduction because I knew that this was the most important part of the essay. It's the first thing that people read. It sets up the tone. This is the written equivalent of a handshake. It's gotta be firm. It's gotta be alpha male. So immediately I start off with an arresting first line. I love terrible movies. Oh. I explain why I love terrible movies, and then I ask the central question: what makes writers write badly? In the second paragraph, I'm immediately bringing into my past experience, my bachelor's dissertation. Just in case you didn't know, I have a bachelor's. I had a lot of fun writing my bachelor's essay, but how did Cold War politics distort Hollywood's 3 Genghis Khan biopics? I bet you've never heard of that before. This was me basically showing off that I'm an academic weapon. I'm also a creative weapon, and I think about writing. I don't just write, like I'm not just hee hee ha ha. This is serious. And then in the last paragraph, I really turned up my earnestness, and I'm not afraid of being earnest and being a little bit idealistic and a little bit sappy. I think that's my strength. The reason why I want to be on this MST, bringing the course into the question immediately. I seek to be surrounded by challenges, to question my decisions and learn from my peers and tutors. I'm mentioning exactly what the course offers to show that I've done my research and also that it suits me. I know what I'm getting into. And then I bring in the sappiness. I love writing. I'm building a career of it. And this program is the natural and most desired step step forward to becoming the best writer I can be. This introduction was my chance to show off my personality, my sense of humor, my voice, because again, I'm writing masters, I have to show off who I am as a writer, and to also give them a glimpse of the kind of person I'm going to be on this course. When you're doing a writing course, they want you to be emotionally invested in it, because the best writers are those that are thinking about things emotionally. This is immediately what I did. I was like, I'm down to clown. I'm going to be in there in the pit with you, woo-woo crying. I'm down. As I said before, the whole process of writing this essay took me 3 months. I went through so many drafts. There's a lot of passages and a lot of sentences that I just got rid of. But after 3 months, I'm incredibly proud of the essay that I wrote. I think I wrote a really damn good essay. If you would like any more tips and tricks and kind of like a deeper look into exactly how a personal statement should be written, you can check out the course that I wrote. It's really long. I've put in a lot of thought and effort into it. You're gonna get your money's worth. I also do one-on-one calls. If you are writing your personal statement and you want just a little bit more like personal guidance, you can call me and I will do my best to help you. So that was my video about my personal statement. I hope that was helpful to you guys. Best of luck with your ambitions. You're all academic weapons. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna be amazing. Good luck. Bye.